Welcome to another episode of the Minorities Report podcast. I'm Antonio Alcazar, and I'm here with
Jason, a.k.a. Tack Noir.
We got another John Hughes movie for you guys tonight.
16 Candles, 1984.
So, yeah, John Hughes again. Hope you guys are ready for another John Hughes movie. I really liked the first one, so I'm really probably going to like this one, I think.
I think you're going to love this one.
Yeah, probably more than the other one.
This one was a hit, man. It made like 4 times what it put in. So
really? Okay. Was this another $1 million movie?
It was a little bit less. Or no, a little bit more. It was like... well,
this one at least had sets, you know?
Yeah, absolutely right. It wasn't just on a school or whatnot.
Yeah. Actually, this one had a ton of sets.
Yep, absolutely. It had a lot of them. You're absolutely right. And John Hughes doing his thing once again. He is a brilliant man when it comes to making films.
Right. He's brilliant. Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is John Hughes?
So, let's talk about John Hughes. This is his first movie that he directed. However, he's written and directed, or just written, a ton of movies. You ever hear of the National Lampoon series?
Yeah.
He wrote those.
He wrote those. Those original screenplays were by him.
Those were by him.
Wow, Jesus.
He also did 16 Candles, obviously. Weird Science.
Okay, that's the movie about the 2 kids that make that fake lady.
Sex robot,
and then they fuck her.
Yes.
Oh, wow. You know what? That tracks.
Yep. Breakfast Club. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ugh.
Pretty in Pink. Some Kind of Wonderful. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Never seen that one.
Oh.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. It will be on the list next year.
Really? Is it good?
It's fucking hilarious, bro.
Oh,
it's fucking hilarious.
Right, we'll see.
Uncle Buck.
I don't know what that is.
Dutch.
I don't know what that is.
Fucking great. When were you born?
88.
Okay. You were only 3 when it came out.
Okay.
Dennis the Menace.
Okay.
Baby's Day Out.
Oh, God.
The Beethoven's franchise.
Jesus, he's got some shit under his belt.
And here comes the fucking hit Home Alone.
Really?
Yep.
1 and 2?
1, 2, and 3.
He wrote those movies or directed those movies?
He wrote those movies.
Oh, okay, he didn't direct them?
Yeah. He's definitely a character that did a lot. I think he's affected film quite a bit, especially through the
clearly.
80s.
Holy shit.
I feel like he wrote families and things like that quite well.
Oh, yeah?
I look at those movies and
Maybe, but like for what family type? You know, like that's not my
suburban,
family, dude. Suburban, white, upper class, 80s.
I'd say upper middle to upper. Yeah, because even like in Home Alone, and they all take place around Chicago and stuff like that for the most part.
Home Alone, I don't know what that dad was doing, but he must have been a senator or some shit, dude. That guy was fucking loaded.
He was fucking super rich, bro.
Yeah, dude, that guy was fucking loaded.
He flew everybody to fucking, France or whatever and shit like that for Christmas. Like, get fucked, real, asshole. Yeah. You know what? You're the motherfucker that liberals want to tax a little bit more, and you should be. You just flew your fucking family to France for a fucking Christmas party.
Yeah.
You have too much money.
Intense. Oh, I mean, try to picture the house, the Arnold house in your.
Oh, I picture the front of it alone.
Yeah, that guy was loaded.
He had the 1990 version of a Trump sign in his fucking. 16 Candles.
Yeah,
let's kick it off, brah.
All right.
1984 goes right into 1984 style film. Opens up.
Yeah.
Very stereotypical family. The 80s.
Yeah.
I think they had 3 girls, 1 boy. That's a little bit more than usual because usually.
Oh yeah, dude! I forgot about the little girl.
Yeah.
She's only in that opening scene.
Yeah.
I never see her again the entire rest of the movie.
So.
She's there. They cast that actress for literally 10 seconds of film, and then she was gone. That annoying fucking dipshit little boy's in it for the rest of the movie, but that little girl's only there for a second.
Jesus Christ, you are brutal on this kid. So we get into the film. Film starts off. Everybody's kind of running around hectic, doing their thing. They're getting ready for a wedding, for our main character's sister's wedding. But everybody's going to school still because this is, I'm going to guess.
Before the wedding.
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah.
Right. I would think. They don't say it, but I'm guessing it's Friday because there's later a dance.
Yeah.
That usually happen on Friday night.
At the end of the week, yeah, for sure.
Yep. Saturday, wedding, probably. Everybody's talking to everybody, doing their thing, and then we quickly realize, of course, it's her birthday. Molly Ringwald is back with us again. Second film with her as one of the main characters.
And she did a lot of John Hughes movies, or just these two?
No, I mean like the Brat Pack. So we didn't really talk about that, but the other movie we did, Breakfast Club, that was the start of the Brat Pack, what was called the Brat Pack. So you're very familiar with the Rat Pack, of course, right?
Yes.
We talked about him.
Sinatra,
Sammy Davis Jr.
And the other guys.
Yeah, there were.
I'm aware of them.
Dean,
though.
whatever.
Dean Martin.
Yeah, Dean Martin.
Yeah.
There were 5 altogether, and it's a similar thing here. But they were the Brat Pack because they were young kids and they did a bunch of movies together.
Which ones?
Afterwards,
Molly Ringwald,
Emilio
Estevez.
Yeah. Anthony, whatever the fuck his name is, and
Who's Anthony, whatever the fuck his name is.
the guy who played Brian.
Oh, okay.
He was also in this movie.
He was in this one too. Yeah, for sure.
And Judd Nelson.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was the Brad Pack.
Yeah. So they did some movies, 80s, a little bit before my time. So I'm not as into it as I'm sure other people are.
Yeah.
All right. So we kick into it. Everything is
okay. So she's talking to her friend over the phone.
Yep.
She's just like, oh, it's my fucking birthday, blah, blah, blah. I don't look any different anyway. I'm going to go downstairs because everyone's probably going to want to wish me a happy birthday.
Yeah.
And then she goes down there and nobody gives
a fuck about her birthday.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And it's very... So, when I watched this movie, thinking about this movie, I was like, this is clearly where he got the idea for Home Alone for, right?
What? Why?
Like, because it's this family, got something more busy on their mind. They're all, like, running around like crazy, doing their things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This person is, like... forgotten about.
Yeah.
And then,
okay, I got it.
Just
it's got some
premise,
Home Alone vibes for sure.
That part of the premise of this, like, because the extended family all comes into it as well, right? Yeah. And that's just like Home Alone.
Grandma and Grandpa's there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
Yeah, for sure.
Wait, that didn't happen in this movie.
No.
So, yeah, all right. So then they get ready. They go to school. Ride the bus to school. Everything's going in there. She gets passed a note from her friend about hooking up, stuff like that.
Hold on. Before we get to that, we get my first moment where I'm just like, I'm in for a wild fucking ride. You know which one I'm talking about?
Oh, boy. Hit it.
Where she's talking about how in her dreams she would have woken up to a Trans Am and a hot boy. And she's just like, oh, the pink Trans Am? And she goes, no, a black one. And then...
Yeah.
And then the friend's like, a black guy? And she looks appalled.
Yeah.
I almost fell out of my chair. I was like, okay, here we go. This one's going to be real ladies.
It's funny because I didn't even, bat an eye at it. I was like, yeah, of course the suburban white girl is going to be afraid of a black guy.
Yeah, okay. This was like a major Hollywood picture. This is like a cornerstone of cinema.
No. This is just John Hughes' first director film. That's why we did this one instead of Weird Science.
Okay.
We would have probably did Weird Science, but I felt like let's hit it with the. Even my old lady was like, "What movies are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, Breakfast Club." She's like, "Oh, that's why you were watching that." And what's the other one you guys are doing? I was like, 16 Candles. She was like, "Why are you doing that one?" I was like, I figured we'd go with that one because it was his first. And she's like, yeah, isn't that a girly movie, though? And I'm like, kind of, but, whatever. We're going to do it because...
I always had heard of 16 Candles.
Of course.
I knew that it was a movie.
It's a song before, the movie.
But it's like a movie.
Yeah,
and one of those movies that people
80s,
watch,
for
they
sure.
like,
Yep,
for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's one of the... 4 or so that are really popular by John Hughes.
Yeah, okay.
Because you don't really think of Home Alone as a John Hughes movie.
I didn't.
Right?
No, I didn't.
You're right. Exactly. The movies that are his are really like this. The other one that we did 2 weeks ago, and then we did Weird Science and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Of course.
Sure. Of course.
Those are like the 4 that are really
big ones.
Hit. Yeah. Exactly. So everything's very 80s here. The high school is very 80s to me. Some of this dripped over into the 90s. That's how I've even seen it. But the writing on the Trapper Keepers, the writing all over the fucking lockers and stuff like that. We did shit like that for sure. And it gets to a scene of showers.
Oh, yeah.
Did
did we have showers?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't shower in the school. No, there were showers in my school because my school was an older school. But nobody was showering.
Gotcha.
There wasn't naked people in my school.
There was definitely in our school when we did swim class and shit like that.
Because this one right away, like, there's the scene with the note where she's just like, I want to fuck Jake Ryan.
Yep.
And then Jake Ryan picks up the fucking note because her friend's asleep.
Yep.
And then the next scene is just a naked high schooler.
Yeah. And them like staring at her body. Right.
Yep. And this it's not like I'm not a. There's a person over there showering. It's just boobs.
Yes.
Like close up to boobs.
80s.
And then out, but still, hey, look at this naked underage person.
Yes. No, she's definitely not underage.
She's a senior.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe
I'm
an 18-year-old.
In real life, she's like 20.
Obviously, the actress is not.
Right. She's quite
what
old.
I'm saying is just like. Yeah. What the fuck, man?
Yeah,
Again with this 80s shit.
She looks ridiculously old, especially compared to Molly Ringwald, who was like 16 at this time.
Who was like 15 at the time. She was 16 during the filming of Breakfast Club.
Is that so?
She was 15.
Okay, yeah, so she's 15 here. She's a sophomore here.
Yeah.
And the other girl, who is supposed to be 2-ish years older than her, the senior, looks like mid-20s like for sure. Easily, yes.
Yeah.
And least, so, like, and I'm sure that's why she was okay getting naked, right?
Sure,
you know, but like, that was just like.
But this one gave me again Nightmare on Elm Street vibes, where I'm just like, okay, we're doing this again. All right, here we go.
We're doing this again, bro. Yeah. So after that, they talk about like her for the. The problem is neither one of us are women, so neither one of us can like. Say this type of shit really happened.
Okay.
Like just like kind of like looking at her body. How
but I
much
guess
they
like she was just saying that's like an adult woman's body, and it probably was.
Yeah.
But she was just like, that's like a formed body.
Yeah.
And I'm like a little girl, and I want this guy that's so much older than me. Why would he ever pay attention to me when he's got like
that's his
an
girlfriend.
Actual fucking woman there? You know?
Right. Exactly. So,
which by the way, I don't know. Did this? So like I had I'll bring it up later. Let's keep going.
So she gets back to the house. Grandparents are at the house.
And her grandparents are inappropriate as fuck.
Yes.
Dude, at first I was like feeling bad for the grandparents because they were super excited to see her, and she was just like, oh, my grandparents. And I was just like, dude, be more appreciative, dude. That's your fucking family.
Yep.
But then the one grandma's just like, your boobs are so perky. Let me touch them. And I'm like, what in the fuck is this family, dude? So that's why when you say, John Hughes does families really well, I'm like, what the fuck families, dude? My family's not like this.
Because it's this, so... He does comedy versions of Family, right? So, like, this isn't like this is like we talked about when we did the Breakfast
This is
Club
much more American Pie.
It's tuned up a little bit. It's your family would be a 7 on this. This is an 11, right? Okay. Like tuned up to the. No grandparents would literally do some shit like this.
Let me go get my microscope, dude. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? That's a fucking human being. Stop that.
In the 80s, there were no human beings.
Yeah, clearly, and this movie is the prime example.
We'll get to it. So, the grandparents, of course, forget about her birthday as well.
Sure, yeah.
So she's just depressed, goes to the room, because she doesn't have her room anymore.
Oh, boy.
And up pops Long Duck Dong.
Dude, the gong.
Bum.
I couldn't believe it, dude.
My note, this shit wouldn't fly yesterday. Not today. Yesterday, this shit would not fly. This shit, okay, so.
This shit wouldn't fly in Trump's America.
Here's the funny shit. This didn't fly then either. So behind the scenes.
Interesting.
People were pissed about this fucking character.
Really?
Yes, they were very offended.
You know, I immediately looked him up and saw an interview with him just to see how he actually spoke. Sure. And I was just like, oh, so John Hughes was just like, hey, can you play a racist caricature for me, please? No. More racist than that. And then he was like, how about this? And he was like, no.
7? No.
Keep going. I really wanted to be a comically racist stereotype.
And this is a problematic.
This is how broken I want your accent. I'm gonna play a gong every time you're on screen. That's how racist I want your accent.
I think isn't this kid? I can't remember. Isn't this kid also in Revenge of the Nerds?
I have no idea.
I think he plays.
I've never seen Revenge of the Nerds. I hear that one's real problematic too, though.
Yes.
I might leave that pregnant pause in there.
I'm trying to think of like all the problematic parts, like the racism, the sexism, the
homophobia, probably
absolute homophobia, literal rape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Let's not watch that one, man. Don't make me watch that one.
We'll probably skip that one. We got plenty of other shit to do. Sure. So, yeah, Long Duck Dong.
Yeah, I put after Long Duck Dong, I put every character so far is a pile of shit. Who am I supposed to be caring about?
Yeah, for sure, my man. And so then she's gonna go to her school dance and she has to take Long Dong with her.
Yeah, they have dinner. A really racist dinner.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to a dance.
Why are they're like all staring at him?
Yeah.
He's
at the head of the table.
Yeah. We should point out that, okay, so here's the thing with Long Duck Dong. I want to say, because I don't know if this happened by your time and age.
Okay.
But this was definitely a thing of the 80s and 90s. Foreign exchange students.
Yeah. I think that still goes on now.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so he was a foreign exchange student, and he's such a caricature of a foreign exchange student. I mean, that's the whole point. Like, it's tuned up to 11 again. So, like, we definitely
This one was just like, hey, I mean, they refer to him as a Chinaman.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times. Like there was a lot of moments in this with every other China stuff where I was just like, this is not...
Boom.
Yeah, I'm not okay with it. Yeah. It was an uncomfortable watch, Jason.
Again, this was hated back then. Even.
Yeah.
This was
well, that's good too. I'm actually happy to know that.
It was very much people had a problem with this, and I don't think they have ever another character that reaches this level of racism in a John Hughes movie again. Yeah. There's definitely problematic scenes in every one of his movies up until the 90s, I'm sure. Because Ferris has them. Weird Science is only problematic. Like the whole point of Weird Science is problematic.
Yeah.
But
Home Alone didn't have any problem.
I don't think so because it's more kid focused. Sure. So it's a kids movie. You know, I mean it's anti-criminal obviously. So I mean that's a little.
Yeah, I guess that's a little problematic. Probably pro cop.
Yeah, because he plays a fake cop for a while. Joe Pesci does.
Yeah, he does.
That's right.
Oh, and Marv pinches that girl's butt in Home Alone 2.
Okay, so we're really stretching. All right, so let's keep with this problematic movie. Sure. So, all right, so you get to the school dance, and did you guys have school dances?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know like how things worked.
Yeah.
But this is very much like a thing.
Yeah, we had a bunch of them too. We had all of the regular ones: homecoming dance, Sadie's, prom, all of it.
For sure, yeah. We definitely would have like about 6 a year or so, something like that.
Yeah, I think we had like 3 major ones a
year. Yeah, we had the homecoming. Prom, Snowball were our 3 major ones.
A Snowball is oftentimes called Sadie Hawkins, where the girl asks
the guy. Exactly. So, and then we would have other littler ones throughout and whatnot. So they were cool, whatever. This is very much a school dance of the 80s.
So the kids that were the nerd kids that were up against the wall, the one with like the Cyclops visor and shit, that was me.
Yeah, totally. The Cyclops visor, I was just like, that is some 80s phenomenal shit right there, bro. Like, fuck. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, dude. I tried to be way too cool when I was in fucking school, man.
Sure, yeah.
You know, so here's the thing about when I went to school.
If you could go back and wear a fucking Cyclops visor,
I probably would, bro. Like,
dude, you should start wearing a Cyclops visor these days. But you can pull it off.
Wait a second. If I wore a Cyclops visor, wouldn't it be a Geordie LaForge visor? I'm black.
Oh shit, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd be more like, they'd be like, oh, that guy's like Geordie LaForge. They wouldn't think Cyclops because I'm black.
Like, hey, reading Rainbow?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's all kind. We're all kinds of twisting them up now. Sure, so like, okay.
The school dance.
Okay, so in my school, we had like nerds, we had like jocks, we had like this and that, and then we had black kids.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, that's right. I never had black kids.
So we hung out.
There was
together.
Only 1 or 2 black kids in any school that I went to, and they were always just hanging out with the nerds or the jocks.
We had probably like 25 to 30 black kids in my school.
Okay, yeah. For sure.
And we all hung out together.
Sure, okay.
We basically in between classes, like way back in the day, I don't know how high school works now, obviously, because I've been out of high school for 22 years.
Yeah.
Our school was shaped like an H with this, it was like a square like this. It had like a center, classes all around, hallway this way, hallway that way.
Sure, yeah.
At one of these corners, all of us black people hung out on this corner right here and shit like that. We'd be rapping all this. We very stereotypical black shit.
No, you didn't.
Very we would literally rap battle on this fucking corner.
I don't believe you.
That's cool. It was the 90s. It was different.
I think that's a story you've made up.
It was like, so when I was a freshman.
Did you have any white kids rapping with you?
There were a couple white dudes who would hung out with it. Because one white dude actually was from Milwaukee, and he was a 220 student as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Huh. And he eventually moved to Greendale, and then he started going to Greendale from there. But he was fucking straight hood white dude, okay? Yeah. So he would hang out with all the black people, too. And, like, you could absolutely hang out with the black. It wasn't like we were racist or anything that. Yeah. Where you could, but it was definitely like
a lot of time. I mean, all the goth kids hung out with each other.
I'm sure.
Make them racist.
The art kids. That was another group we had. Like all the people who were really into art, and they would fucking the weed heads like a motherfucker and shit, and they would be all in art all the time. Yeah. And they were cool too, and I used to be friends with them too a little bit because I used to do a lot of art classes and stuff like that. Obviously, painting now and shit like that all the time. And so when I was a freshman, I first started going to school there. I didn't know who to hang out with or anything like that. And I remember being in the cafeteria. We had like 2 different lunch periods and shit like that. And I sat there and I sat down my first couple days, and it was just like with this Asian kid I kind of knew and like a couple like dudes that played football. No one really that big of a deal or whatever. And this black dude, this senior there named Lance, comes up to me one day and he was like, "Hey, bro, come over here." And I'm like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Come over here. You sit over here from now on."
What?
And I went over there and I sat down with him.
Yeah.
And it was a table. We had a whole table. It was all the black kids.
Yeah.
And then I sat with the black people for the rest of the time I went to high school.
Why?
That's how we did it in Greendale. It was just like we segregated ourselves from the other people. Like, we didn't like not like the white people, or we didn't but it was absolutely all the black kids that like kind of hung out together. And it was one of those things. I think, what it's almost like, and I don't want to like say this is the same as this, but it's almost high school, almost like a prison, man.
Sure.
Like the people that are similar.
My high school was literally designed and built to be a prison, and then the contract changed, and they were just like, well, let's just make it the new high school.
Oh, well, there you go.
So I was literally...
What school did you go to?
Watertown High School.
Okay, out there. All right. So you were out in the... so you were out in the boonies.
Yeah.
That's definitely... It was definitely one of those things. I think you know what it was? It was one of those things where, like, somebody probably did it in the 80s.
Sure.
And then we just kept on doing it. Because, like, a senior brought me into it, right? And then by the time I was a senior, I was telling other black, this is where we sit, and you would just sit, there. And, like, it stopped, I'm sure just like, and I'm not saying motherfuckers are getting shanked or anything like that at high school, but, like, you didn't have to worry about getting picked on or getting in fights and stuff like that because no one's going to, like, you better come bring 10 white dudes that has a problem with black dudes if you're going to come over here and fight, because otherwise you're going to fight against this entire corner of people and shit like that. And I'm sure it's very different now. I like, even when I go to, like, when before my son graduated, I'd go to the Greendale stuff, and there were, like, tons of, like, non-white people there. There were, like, tons of Indian kids and tons of, like, Hispanic kids and all this other stuff. So I'm sure it's very different than it was then. But, like, dude, like, when I went to school, there was probably, like, a couple Mexican dudes.
Yeah.
The Asian kids hung out together, too. Like, the Asian kids hung out together. It was very weirdly race segregated, which makes sense because it was Wisconsin. And Wisconsin is segregated as a motherfucker. Milwaukee is one of the most segregated fucking cities in the entire United States. So, probably just rubbed up. I don't know. I can't explain it, but that was definitely my high school. So, that was fucking long, and you can edit out as much as you want out of that shit.
Sure.
So, school dance, she takes long duck dong. The Cyclops dude, they are fucking creepy as shit, bro.
Yeah.
John Cusack, you noticed him, I'm sure.
A young
right?
John Cusack.
Yeah.
I actually noticed, because we forgot the bus ride home, where that Brian kid is back again. Joan Cusack is in that scene.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was surprised to see her, and then I saw John Cusack.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's
young,
Joan Cusack, poor Joan Cusack in this movie just gets shit on the whole time. Like, the joke is, she's wearing a neck brace. Isn't that funny, guys?
Yeah.
And then, like, she's trying to drink out of a bubbler, just like, there's that neck brace again. And then later in the
that is some 80s shit, right?
And then later in the movie, she's trying to drink out of a can, and she can't. She's just like, oh, I bet she wish she didn't have that neck brace. I was like, dude, this poor fucking woman, dude.
Yeah. So then we get into a very 80s scene, and they had this in the 90s too, where Brian, is that his name in this too?
No. In this name, his name is Ted.
Okay.
Ted, yeah.
Sure. Ted.
Because she calls him Farmer Fred later, and then he goes, my name's Ted, and she goes, Farmer Ted.
Yeah, very, very Can't Buy Me Love sort of thing. So my name is Ronald.
I don't know what that is. Can't Buy Me Love? What's that?
What?
What is that?
You've never seen Can't Buy Me Love?
No, I don't know what that is.
Put it on the rack. Great comedy from the 1990s.
I don't believe that exists anymore.
Do you know who? Did you ever watch that fucking hospital show with McDreamy or whatever the fuck his name is?
I think you're thinking of.
You know who I'm talking about, right? McDreamy. They called him that. And he was in the Transformers movie too. No, you didn't watch Transformers?
I know
Dark of the Moon.
No, I didn't watch.
Patrick Duffy. Is that his name?
Patrick Duffy. Patrick Duffy is the guy from like that show in the 70s with the family.
Definitely not.
Patrick Duffy is like an old like 70s.
Grey's Anatomy is the show we're
Grey's Anatomy is what we're talking about. But Patrick Duffy can't be who you're talking
Derek Shepard. Where the fuck is Derek Shepard?
Oh, okay. I recognize that guy. Yeah, look up Patrick Duffy though.
How old is this dude? Hold on one second. Okay.
Wait, was Eric Shepard in this movie?
No. I'm fucking.
What are you talking about?
We're talking about Can't Buy Me Love.
Yeah, that's right.
Patrick Duffy. Patrick Duffy. Jeez, I don't know how the fuck.
Yeah, wasn't he like a 70s dude?
Yeah. Holy shit, I totally remember this guy, but like, holy fuck, what was some of the shows he starred on? Jesus fucking Christ. J.R. Ewing from fucking, from Dallas.
J.R. Ewing?
Yeah. Or Bobby Ewing, I'm sorry. He was,
he was on Dallas.
Yeah, he was on Dallas. Let me see film.
I've never seen Dallas for everybody out there.
I saw Dallas because my mom used to love Dallas. Okay, so, sure. Step by Step.
Step by Step is what
that
was
thinking. Of course. Yeah, that's the one that we all know him for and shit like that. Yeah. All right, so now that we're past Patrick fucking Duffy, bro. Yeah, so anyways, we of course we get the fucking we're gonna bet and I'm gonna go sleep with that girl or whatever.
Of course, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's some classic. Even up until the 2000s, that shit was going on.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Superbad. Look at Superbad.
Did they?
So the whole point of Superbad was that
getting laid before they
Jonah Hill's character wanted to sleep with Emma Stone's character. He wanted to get her as drunk as possible so that he could sleep with her and be like the mistake. You know, that was literally that. So I mean, even up until the 2000s, that shit was going on.
You're right.
And then we all just stopped doing that, right?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. It doesn't happen anymore.
No, I don't think kids do that anymore.
Well, I don't think it happens in movies anymore. Again, Brock Turner did this shit recently.
Yeah. We're not going to do another podcast talking about Brock Turner.
I'm going to make it a point to bring him up in every fucking podcast.
Fuck, man, we're going to lose listeners like a motherfucker. Nerd just keeps getting at it. He starts to go after Molly Ringwald. Tries to get up with her. Tries to dance with her. This and that. You know, and then he just won't leave her alone. Keeps getting at her. Molly Ringwald is trying to get noticed by John, right? That's his name in the movie.
No. It's Brett Kavanaugh. I mean, Jake Ryan.
Oh, we'll get to that later. Brett Kavanaugh! That fucking piece of shit. I like beer. I still like beer. How the fuck is that guy a Supreme Court justice in the fucking country? I like beer.
I still like beer.
Jesus. Holy shit. This is going to be a great one to edit, bro. I like bear. Fucking Kamala Harris made him cry. Fuck me, dude. I forgot to show you the fucking picture I saw the other day. It was a yard sign that said Joe and the woman who made Brett cry. It was in fucking New Berlin over here. I had to drop back and take a picture of it. It made me laugh so hard, dude. I was like, holy shit, that is fucking great.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, his name was Jake Ryan.
Jake Ryan, sorry. She's trying to get noticed by Jake Ryan. Jake Ryan is kind of trying to notice her, but then kind of not. It's so fucking weird because these two people clearly are like all about each other, but like not connecting correctly. So instead, Ted keeps on getting in her face, trying to hook up with her. Really annoyingly, at one point she leaves. She goes to like the fucking auto shop.
Yeah, she just goes to chill by herself.
Yeah.
And then he follows her.
Yeah. Did you guys have an auto shop at your school?
I don't think, no, actually, I don't think we had an auto shop. We had a big shop area, but I don't think they worked on cars.
Yeah, we used to work on cars. I used to take automotive repair classes when I was in high school. And like it was early in the morning, we would work on cars and shit like that, and small engines and stuff like that. It was pretty cool, actually. It was definitely a very shop thing back in the day. So I don't even know if they do shit like that anymore, but this was definitely something that happened in the 80s. And she's chilling, and then he, you know what I was thinking about this dude right at this scene? This is that typical dude now who's like, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah,
I'm a nice guy. Right.
Sure. Yeah,
I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
She should sleep with me. You know, like, I fucking deserve to be sure for she owes me. You know, like, that's what I was thinking as I was watching these scenes.
I think that's John Hughes. John Hughes is the nice guy.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And I'm going to bring up some stuff later on that happens in this movie that makes me think that John Hughes is the nice guy.
You're probably right.
Let's go on.
So then eventually they kind of befriend each other, and then he's like, kind of talks to her about Jake Ryan, and she agrees to give him her panties because this is how he's going to claim he had sex with her.
Yeah, they kind of have like a character moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Where like he kind of opens up to her a little bit, and he's just like, like I got to come off as like this player character, but like, that's just some shit that I do.
I'm going to do this, and I don't have to sleep with you or anything like that.
And so like, and then, still these character moments. Who gives a fuck about both these characters? I hate them both, but that's why she's okay with giving him the panties, right? Because he's just like, yeah, okay, you know what, like I'll do you a solid or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
but then it's the panties in the bathroom scene, and that is the most pathetic scene I think I've ever seen in any movie I've ever watched.
I wrote down. So I got to put this out, okay? I've never seen this movie before.
What?
I'd never seen this movie before.
Jason,
you saw this movie before I did.
This isn't how this is supposed to go, my guy.
You saw this movie like a couple of hours before I did. And I originally picked A Weird Science because I thought that would be, that's a movie I have seen, and I've seen Ferris and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so I picked those ones, but then I was like, oh shit, we got to go with 16 because it's the first one or whatever, right? Then I texted you and I was like, have you watched 16? Because if you were like, no, I haven't watched it yet, I was going to be like, good, let's watch one of these other ones.
Okay.
Because I thought, oh shit, I haven't seen this. And Sarah was like, you're going to watch that girly movie? And then I was like, oh, what is this movie about? No,
I did write down... this movie was literally made exclusively for 16-year-olds, exclusively for girls, and exclusively in the 80s.
All true. So this kid comes up to a door, and he's like, what are you? And he's like, I'm a freshman. And he's like, gives him money, to come in. And I'm like, wait, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen this movie.
Yeah.
And then they all go to the stall, and I'm like, okay, what the... Are they going to, shit bomb somebody here?
I thought they were going to take turns jerking off to it. That's what they were paying for. That's how depraved I thought this was going to be.
I thought they were about to fucking, do something terrible to, a kid that was in a stall or something like that.
Yeah,
they were going to dump water on him or some shit.
Yeah.
Or, and then he comes out, and he, shows off the... And I wrote down at this point, this movie is getting cringier by the second. Yeah. This is fucking...
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on in this? All right, whatever.
I'm really glad that you watched this with 2020 eyes, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of these movies you've watched with 1980s eyes,
I saw them in the 80s,
and then you watch them again, and there's
the nostalgia
still
brings
has
you back.
See the eyes,
Yeah.
but this one you watch just with 2000. You're watching this like I watch these movies, and now you're getting the full force of what this is like for me, man.
Yeah. This is the first time I've gotten your experience. So. We jump from this scene, and it jumps to the family at dinner with a mafia, not mafia. Clearly,
the literal Godfather music is playing in the background.
Yes,
the actual music from the Godfather is playing in the background. And but it's the actual song from the Godfather, and the guy is clearly a mobster.
But
the dad is
not really a mobster,
just like a sleazy mobster type.
Yes, that fucking... I don't know if you ever watched her. I used to listen to Lisa Lampanelli all the time.
Sure, okay.
Love Lisa Lampanelli. She was so fucking funny. Very Andrew Dice Clay as a woman, though. Sort of.
That was her shtick.
That was her shtick, exactly. She liked to take dick and, drink Coke. That was, her thing. And she would make jokes about how, The Sopranos came out, and every Italian fucking asshole thought he was a mobster after The Sopranos came out. He's like... You fucking, run a pasta shop. Get fucked. And that was kind of what this guy reminded me of, the joke that she used to do.
And the husband was the janitor.
Really?
Yeah, the girl's husband.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, he was the janitor.
Oh, okay. That's a cool little connection. Yeah. So, And I've seen the dad in a bunch of things, of course. He's been in a bunch of stuff. But then, like, they kind of do these, like, this whole fucking scene is so pointless to me. Like, you're introduced to the fucking bride's husband's family. And so they knew in-laws.
And, like, that's what I'm saying. The bride's husband was the janitor from the other movie. From Breakfast Club.
I got you. He's got the long hair. That's why I didn't notice him. Yep. So the family's very weird, of course, very New York sort of thing. And, like, this takes place in Chicago, of course, because all John Hughes movies take place in Chicago. So are these, like, mobsters from Chicago?
Yeah,
is that whatever?
They're the old what are those called? Boot barrel fucking people.
Oh yeah, the barrel guys.
What were those called? The
bootleggers.
Bootleggers. Yeah. They were the old bootleggers.
Yeah. So we go from this, and then it goes
for who was the big
Al Capone.
Al Capone.
Yeah. Oh, that's when you'll have to join us for our podcast that will review Boardwalk Empire by the minute.
No.
We're going to do minute increments of Boardwalk Empire.
Yikes. Is it that good?
It is the thing.
All right. We'll watch it.
We're not doing that. So, anyways, we go to a party at Jake's house. Long Dong, he's with his new tall...
I thought it was a teacher.
This is so fucking problematic. This character is so fucking problematic, and his girlfriend is problematic. Yes. Just like, okay, so they go to the party. Now, at this point, Molly Ringwald is crushed. She goes home. To go to sleep.
Our main character now
is
asleep in bed while the movie continues.
Yes, because now new Brian is our new main-ish character.
Yeah.
He goes to the party, too, with his friends.
Yeah.
John Cusack and the other one. Yeah. And they go to the party and they're like doing their thing. Long Dong is already there, lets them into the party, of course, right? They start making a fucking fool of themselves. Party's going crazy. Jake's girlfriend
gets belligerently drunk.
She gets ridiculously drunk. We've all had a person in our life that gets drunk like this.
Yeah, of course.
And it should be pointed out that earlier in this film, Molly Ringwald is going to talk to Jake, then she doesn't, and then because of that, Jake leaves with his girlfriend, and that's where this whole...
So the through line for the Molly Ringwald and Jake storyline is that she wrote a note where she confessed that she wanted to sleep with him, and he was kind of staring at her, and then she kind of, stared at him, and so... Then he's talking to other people about, I kind of like this girl, you think I should pursue her? And people are just like, well, she's a freshman, so that's a child. And like literally one guy literally says to him, that's a child.
Right.
And he's just like, well,
when they're doing fake pull-ups.
Yeah, when they're doing fake pull-ups, which are obviously fake pull-ups because the camera pans out.
Yeah, they're standing, right. Standing. Yeah.
And then so he goes, well, I just really like that she likes me.
Yeah.
And he's just like, dude, you got like a woman. And he's just like, okay, well,
she doesn't know.
And then later on, he asks the Brian character, hey, what do you know about the girl that you were just dancing with? And she's just like, well, she's into you or whatever.
Yep.
And then, so it's been established that this Jake guy kind of has a thing for Molly Ringwald.
Right.
And so at this right before they leave for the party, they run into each other in the locker room, and she kind of like freezes up and leaves. And that's why she's just like, dude, I'm a fucking loser. I'm just going to go to bed.
Yep.
And he goes to the party, and the whole time he's thinking about this girl.
Yep.
And so his girlfriend gets belligerently drunk, and he's just like drunk dialing the house.
Yes.
And the grandparents are picking up the fucking...
Dude, this brought me back.
Yeah.
To pre-cell phone days.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And trying to get a hold of people.
Excuse me, sir, I would just want to know if Samantha blah, blah, blah was home. And no. Get out.
Now, listen to me, you little creep.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, pre-cell phone days were pretty wild.
They were fun.
Yeah, having to call a house.
So then we go from there to the party goes wild, of course. There's no fucking... I've known some high school parties. This is pretty fucking...
Yeah, this is egregious. This
is ridiculous for a high school party, but like
for sure.
Would not happen. But
no. Like everything gets off the rails. Like dong, duck dong, long duck dongs. Fucking, they're
in an exercise room.
Yeah, straight up fucking almost. But no, doing exercise.
Dry humping
on the
bike.
Yeah, and then the girl picks up the weights, and then the weights slip off and bust through the floor and shit. Like they are fucking this house up.
Yes.
Yeah, Yeah, so the party just goes off the rails.
Yes, and like people are like looking through the hole, and they're like, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And so the party rages for a while. They can't. Jake can't get a hold of Molly, and the girl, like his girlfriend, gets so fucking belligerently drunk that she just passes out on the floor.
Yep, and has to have her hair cut off by her friend.
Yeah, she gets her hair cut off because it's stuck in the door. She passes off on the floor, and then the only people that are awake are Jake and Brian.
Yeah. Well, wait. Jake is the only one around.
Yeah.
And he hears some weird fucking noise.
Yes, yeah.
And then looks at his table.
Yeah, and
Brian's face is in the table, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then he clears it off, and Brian is trapped in the table.
He's literally been trapped underneath the table. And so he pulls him out, and then Brian becomes this like very kind of charismatic character with Jake, and he's just like, "Dude, this is what you got to do," and she really likes you and stuff.
She's a nice girl, and you are a nice guy, and.
Yeah, you're a really nice guy. Especially because of the next.
I'm going to narrate this little bit of a part. Okay, you're a good dude. Yeah, but if you want to just sleep with her, you shouldn't do that because I don't care if I'm smaller than you. I will find someone to beat you up. Yeah. And because would I lie to you? Well, what would happen if I lied to you? I'd kick your ass. Exactly. So I'm not lying to you. She's a good girl. You're a good guy. You guys would be perfect together. And to this point, I want to point out, Jake has been a pretty decent dude. Like, he's been pretty respectful guy. He's like, I'm looking for a woman who's going to care about me. Okay. I want to care about her.
Sure.
I don't want this just random girlfriend that I'm sleeping with and stuff like that. I really want to be in a real relationship.
Yeah.
I want to care about somebody. I want to grow with somebody. I'm deeper than this.
Yes. Way deeper.
And since you did me this solid, Brian.
No, hold on. Before that,
Ted. Sorry.
Before that,
he
says, I don't just, if you just want to sleep with her, like, you don't break her heart because she's like, whatever it is, she's a really dope person. She gave me her panties, in a pinch or whatever. And he goes, listen, if I wanted to sleep with somebody, I could do it. Yeah. My girlfriend's passed out right now. I could go
violate hers.
Exactly. I could go violate my girl 10 different ways right now.
So here's the thing, right? Okay. This
he
to
said
me,
if I really wanted to sleep with somebody, I could go upstairs and violate my drunken girlfriend 10 different ways.
I don't think that's okay. So like,
I almost fell off my chair. I couldn't fucking believe that.
I want to say this. I'm not advocating for date rape in any way.
That's literally what this is. He literally said, dude, if I wanted to sleep with somebody, I could go rape my girlfriend.
Clearly,
10 different ways.
They've slept together plenty.
No, but that's not.
No, I know. I'm saying. So okay. This is I don't want to excuse locker room talk.
Okay.
But what he's saying is I could just sleep with my girlfriend. Like I could sleep. There's plenty of people I could sleep with. Clearly this dude is a good looking dude. He's a senior. He's
but that line specifically, the way that it was said.
Right. So like
was seriously just saying like I could go rape my girlfriend. Like I get like you could say and the reason it backs it up is because of what happens next.
So I was still not really that problematic. I didn't find this scene that problematic.
I was already at a 10, dude.
Until I've been a good guy through most of this film. I am the good guy of the film. Like, this is the point of this character, is to be the good guy of the film. Because the main character wants this character. So he's supposed to be the Prince Charming of the film. Hey, by the way, would you like to date rape my girlfriend?
Yeah. I could go rape my girlfriend if I wanted to, but you know what? Because you did me this solid, you can go rape my girlfriend. What do you think about that? I'll let you borrow my dad's car.
And then
roll around in my dad's Rolls Royce. Go rape this girl.
And then our other nice guy, Ted, is like,
thank you.
Wait, I want to point something out first.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't do that. And I was like, shit, he's going to be the decent dude. And since I haven't seen this movie,
sure,
maybe this is going to turn out where he's the decent dude. He's going to fucking shit on Jake, and he's going to end up with Molly Ringwald. Like, they'll end up together because he's been a decent dude this entire time. Yeah. He is like, I'm not going to rape you. I'm not going to date rape your girlfriend. Like, because he says no at first, right? And he's like, just take her, take her from me or whatever, right? This and that, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So then I took that as, I still think he's like a decent dude because he's like, okay, I'll drive her home. Like, that's what you want me to drive her home? I'll drive her home or whatever, right? And then, of course, like, he gets in a Rolls Royce, drives a Rolls Royce, and like, all of this is,
yeah, man.
And then he starts getting head
from
a drunk
woman.
An
accident. starts getting head from a drunk woman.
And there's a scene where she's like, "Who is that?"
Yeah.
"That's me."
Yeah.
"Who are you?" "I'm him."
Yeah. And she's like,
Go.
"Okay, good." And then he goes, "Have fun."
Right. All right. So then after that, they fuck, obviously, which is beyond problematic.
And they get pictures of it, too. Because he goes
Not
to his
only...
friend's house. He goes to his friend's house.
There's no decent person in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Because the dude I thought was going to be the decent person, and he doesn't even do anything. You could, like, even say, okay, he's not getting head there. She just fell asleep in his, like, lap.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. At that point, I was like, and he's like, this is getting interesting. Like, breaks the fourth wall. This is getting interesting. And then goes to his fucking friend's house and is like, check this shit out, bro. I don't want you to check this out.
Can you guys take pictures of me?
I want you to take a picture
raping this woman, please?
So
I literally wrote down John Hughes should be in prison.
So then Brett Kavanaugh gets his friends to take a picture of them in the Rolls Royce with her. And after he's drunk his beer,
which he loves.
Right,
I love beer.
I still love beer. We're just dunking on this piece of shit just because this movie dunks on Brett Kavanaugh so well. So at this fucking point, I
like how like Brett Kavanaugh was accused of having taken advantage of a drunk girl at a party.
Yeah.
And people now were just like, dude, why would anybody do something like that? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
This is like this is a stand-up dude.
Yeah.
And then you watch a John Hughes movie.
Yeah.
And the fucking joke is that this is normal. This is fine.
Date rape is totally normal. Right.
And I'm just like, of course.
Yeah. Dude, date rape was a normal thing in the fucking 90s when I was a fucking person. Now, I want to point out this out.
In the 2000s.
I have never date raped anybody.
But what I'm saying is, like, even Superbad, the movie was about date rape.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
and
was
like
in the 2000s.
This type of shit certainly happened in the 90s when I was around, the 2000s when I was. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that I've never like me and a girl haven't gotten smashed and we've slept together.
Of course, yeah,
that's
for sure.
different.
But that's very different
than me purposely getting a girl drunk. Yeah. Like I get like I'm a very different person. I was raised very different.
Yeah.
So I don't understand like that because like for me like it's always been like I want a chick who's like as into it as I'm into it because that's going to make for a better sexual situation than someone who's I could just jerk off if it was somebody that's passed the fuck out. Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
Sure.
But, you know, it's like I can't understand the mind of a lot of other people. So like but you're right. There's no way Brett Kavanaugh didn't fucking do that shit because it was the comedic joke of the 80s.
It was literally normal.
He was in college at this point in time.
For sure, yeah.
If it was kind of starting to get a little taboo in the 80s, I'm sure it wasn't even a little taboo in the 70s.
Yeah.
Like, that's how we scored with women back then. I'm sure that's what somebody from the 70s would, you know, a piece of shit would say. You know, like, and I'm sure not everybody was a piece of shit. I'm sure there's plenty of people now who regret what they did in the 70s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, but.
So anyway, he date rapes this girl, wakes up the next day.
Everybody starts waking up. We should get there. So then it's the next day. It's the wedding day at this point.
Yes.
Some really rough times in the family of the Molly Ringwald crew.
Yeah.
The oldest daughter.
It drugs herself to the point of not even being able to.
Because she's on her period.
Yeah.
She takes 2 muscle relaxers.
I thought 5, she said.
I thought she said 2. Either way, she takes more than she was supposed to take because her mom's like, you weren't supposed to take that many.
Yeah.
You were supposed to take 1. And she's fucking trashed.
Yeah.
And so
she's literally ODing on Oxy.
Really rough times. Poltergeist woman pops out.
I don't know what that is.
You never seen the movie Poltergeist?
No.
Very weird woman. She was in this movie. She hello, you know, welcome to the church or whatever. She was. Yeah, the little short lady.
Oh, with the hat?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she was in Poltergeist. She's very weird in Poltergeist.
Okay.
She is the what is it called? Exorcist that comes to like clear the house.
Oh, weird.
Come to the light, Carolyn.
Sure.
You know, like she was very fucking weird. Yeah. And she's weirder than the ghosts in the Poltergeist movie. So she's in this movie. I totally didn't know she was coming, of course.
Yeah.
So we cut from there over to the Rolls Royce. The Rolls Royce is all fucked up.
Trashed, yeah, for sure. Long Duck Dong is found passed out.
Falls out of a tree.
Yeah.
Drunk
After
as
getting his
fuck.
ass whooped.
Yes.
Yeah, by Jake Ryan.
Yeah.
Because I guess he tried to get handsy with him.
Yeah, because he grabbed his nuts. Yeah, because he brings that up. And the grandparents that have him there are like, what's wrong? And then someone's like, he's drunk. And they're like, where's my car? Like he can't because he's Chinese. He can't explain I was driving your car and I got in an accident. He's got to go like, you little son of a bitch. And the grandma kicks him in the stomach. Whatever. So, all right. And then we cut back to the nerd with the girl, the hot girl.
They wake up and then she likes it.
She's like, did we do it? Yes.
Did you like it?
Did I like it? She looks at him like, of course you fucking liked it. Did you like it? Yeah. I have this weird feeling.
I think I kind of did. That's why I'm saying John Hughes is a nice guy. Because this is like an incel's fantasy.
Yeah.
Is what this movie is.
Yeah. That character.
Yeah, that character.
Is definitely. Yep. So then, of course, she falls in love with him, or at least likes him a lot. And then
she breaks up with her boyfriend. And then,
she breaks up with Jake, to be with him. And are they going to drive off in Jake's dad's Rolls Royce?
I guess, man. I don't know, man. The kid is a freshman. This kid's like a 14-year-old, and
he doesn't know how to drive. And we've seen that. And then, of course, he's driving perfectly after a couple of minutes, but nonetheless.
And she's a senior, graduating.
Yes.
And she's about to start dating a freshman, I guess.
Yes.
Because they slept together because she got raped.
Yes.
All right.
John Hughes.
And then,
hot dude. So hot chick falls in love with the nerd dude. Hot dude falls in love with the nerd chick, of course. Yep. We go through the wedding happens. It's all out of control, of course, because the sister is
all blacked out,
all fucked up. She leaves, and then that's pretty much the end. They have like their moment. Jake and Molly are finally able to talk. They get together. They go to celebrate her birthday finally because she hasn't had anybody to celebrate her birthday with. And then the line, then he goes, "Make your wish," and I literally audible went, "It already came true." And then she goes, "It already came true," and I go, "Fuck this movie." Yeah.
Would you recommend it? So let me go first. Okay.
You go first.
So I wanna read you some notes. I'm gonna quick fire a bunch of notes that I wrote down for this movie. Holy fucking racist this movie is.
Yes.
This movie is straight bad. These are all things I'm writing as I'm watching.
Yes.
This paints a really ugly picture of the 80s.
Yes.
This fucking movie blows. I've never seen a movie this 80s or this problematic. All the character moments are garbage. I don't care. Not about any of these people. John Hughes should be in prison. I can hardly believe this movie. And my very last note was, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
You wrote 5 times as much as I did for the final of this movie. You want to know what I wrote?
What?
What a fucking terrible movie. I had one note, and it said, what a fucking terrible movie this is. This movie is fucking atrocious, bro. I want to tell you something here, man. I watched this fucking movie. It took me 4 hours to watch this movie because I had to keep stopping it to do other fucking things because I hated this movie so fucking much. This is by far the worst movie we've watched.
Yeah.
I would watch Nightmare on Elm Street 5 times in a row before I watch this fucking movie again. It is racist as fuck.
This was one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
And maybe it's like, okay, we are not 45-year-old women, so there's something we just don't understand about this movie. Because maybe if we were 45 or 47-year-old women, this is something we grew up with when we were like 14 years old or maybe 15 years old, and we saw it then, and it was cute to us then, and then we look back at it with fond eyes. I have movies like that for sure.
Oh man.
I mean,
I can't see anything redeeming in this movie. Not any of the character stuff. Not any of the emotional, romantic stuff. I literally, when I was watching this movie, couldn't find a single fucking thing in this movie that was like,
so
I could see why people like this. Not at all, man.
The movies that age the best with time, in my opinion, are dramas. Okay. Because drama is drama almost no matter what. Okay. The movies that age the worst, in my opinion, are comedies.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And it's because comedy and what's okay to make fun of change a lot with time.
Sure,
okay.
Yeah.
John Hughes is not a slapstick comedian. That's why you looked at the last two movies we've done, and it's not like Tommy Boy or some shit like that, where people are doing ridiculous things.
Or even like American Pie.
Right, yeah, something like that, where someone's fucking a pie and stuff like that, where it's just slapstick humor. American Pie is problematic, and American Pie is this done better. There's no fucking way I would recommend this movie to anybody who isn't a 47-year-old woman who grew up in this type of situation.
And was asking you specifically to watch it again.
And that woman already has seen this movie.
Exactly, yeah.
So she doesn't need to be told to fucking see this movie. I don't get it. If any of you out there are like, I love 16 Candles, please write in on our Facebook.
Yeah, if you like this movie, comment, please. I want to just know why.
We're not going to assault you. We're not going to make fun of you. I need to understand. This is the first movie that we have watched together that I have not seen before. So I was definitely in this, and that maybe that's why we both hate it, because we both looked at it with today's eyes, and we just saw a film that was egregiously racist, egregiously disgusting in the fucking. I'm sorry, you could call me a fucking bleeding heart liberal, but there's nothing funny about, hey, go rape my girlfriend. I'm sorry, I just don't get that.
Like,
joke
if you're just like, it was just a joke, man. That was funny in the 80s. Dude, get fucked. If that's what you're laughing at, get fucked.
I don't know. Like, when we watched The Breakfast Club a couple weeks ago, it was definitely like had some problems, but nowhere near this movie's problems. Like, Breakfast Club had some bad statements, some bad words, improper words that you wouldn't use anymore. It had a couple, problematic scenes. You had the slight sexual assault scene, Yeah. Not like this, man. It was not like this. This was fucking problematic.
Off the rails,
yes.
Bro. Yeah.
From panties to fucking cringe as fuck bathroom scene to fucking
straight up date rape.
Date rape to fucking dongs when a Chinese man comes on the screen.
Every time they mentioned him or saw him, there was a
Godfather music for the Italian family. Go fuck yourself with this fucking movie.
I couldn't believe that after this movie, because this was his first movie, how did fucking John Hughes get work after this movie? Like, literally, it would have been this movie, and then please never make another movie again. Someone maybe should look into your fucking life.
The only thing I could think of is his writing was still good.
And Hollywood was still an old boys club, too, man.
Sure.
A lot of the shit was just like, this is fine.
I think what it was, if I'm going to guess anything, I'm going to guess 16 and 17-year-olds saw this movie, and it was much like when we watched like Halloween or something like that, and they were like, this is realistic conversations that teenagers would have. And like, because when I watched American Pie, I was just like, yep, this is exactly how all my friends talk and stuff like that. And I'm not ashamed to admit when we definitely talked about sex and about like, we're trying to get nailed and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like that was definitely something we would talk about when we were 17 years old and whatnot. So like, I don't really, I don't know. I can't explain this movie, and I would love for somebody else to explain it to us. Oh, I dislike this movie so much that I wrote 2 notes about this movie. And I love my behind-the-scenes shit. I wrote 2 behind-the-scenes things. Molly Ringwald and the character, Anthony Michael Hall, they were dating at the time this happened. They were both teenagers. They're like the same age, basically, okay?
They were dating?
Yeah, they were dating.
Yeah, that's cool.
And Long Duck Dong, I already brought this up, was like shit on like a motherfucker even back in those times. They were like, this is fucking ridiculous. This is racist. That's why something like this has never happened again in any of the John Hughes movies. There were certainly problematic sexual scenes in Weird Science. You know what? I wonder Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I'm trying to think of like problematic stuff in
I've never seen that movie, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything problematic in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So maybe the guy just like learned and he
figured
was
it out by that point.
Like I can't joke about somebody raping their friend's girlfriend or some shit like that. So I'm not going to say get fucked John Hughes, but I'm going to say get fucked 16 Candles.
I, based off of 16 Candles and Breakfast Club, will very solidly say get fucked John Hughes.
Okay.
And maybe, I don't know, I doubt very seriously that there's any way for him to redeem himself after 16 Candles. Breakfast Club was already like, this is pretty stupid. Yeah. I remember at the end of that, I was just like, caca. But after 16 Candles, I'm just like, dude, John Hughes should have been jailed. they should have taken
not even because of he should not have been jailed because he might have committed date rape, Brett Kavanaugh.
Just for making
but because of shitty movies.
Yeah. For making these movies, they should have put him in prison.
Basically, they should have treated America like Cuba for a moment and
just for this guy.
You're fucking in jail. That's fucking hilarious to me. But I'll say the best part of this movie is we got to make fun of Brett Kavanaugh a lot because he's a piece of shit.
All right, guys. Well, that was another episode of Minorities Report. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Not sure which one we're going to do next time.
So next time, we're about 2 weeks away from December, or like a weekend, a little over that time. So you know what's coming next, bro. Christmas shit.
Yeah. We doing a thing next? Or
we're going to do some Christmas stuff. Definitely not The Thing. The Thing happens in January because that's...
okay.
The winter movies are... We're going to do January-ish. We'll do The Shining and we'll do The Thing. Both horror movies, but both horror movies that are not Hereditary, so you'll be able to deal with them. Both, The Thing, obviously one of the most famous sci-fi horror-ish films, and The Shining is obviously way up there. Probably the most famous Stephen King work, other than It. I mean,
that to me is the most famous Stephen King movie. Yeah, for sure. I've never seen it, but that's the one that I recognize the most.
For sure. Cause, yeah, it's very iconic. And you have two of the masters doing their work, right? Because you have Stephen King writing it, and you have Kubrick being the director of it. So those are two guys that are ridiculously respected when it comes to their craft.
Yeah, there's kind of a confluence of a lot of forces too.
Yeah. And there's going to be some really fun shit in there because I have an insane amount of behind the scenes of both those movies because of how much I love both those movies.
Sure, of course.
And there's an entire
and how much
movie,
you've been hyping it, I kind of have been wanting to watch it.
There's an entire movie about the behind the scenes of The Shining.
Room something, right?
Room 237.
Yeah, there you go.
I saw that in the theater with a friend of mine. We went and saw that in the theater, so they had a showing of it, and we saw The Shining as well, shown on 35 millimeter film or something like that for one of the horror fests a couple of years ago. That was really, really fucking fun. So we'll do some a little bit more lighthearted stuff, maybe like a National Lampoon or something like that. I definitely gotta dig into my bag and see what we have for Christmas movies that are that were popular at the time that you have not seen. So we'll definitely get to that. We'll probably do. We'll probably post something on Facebook just so if you want to follow along and keep watching the movies with us, you can check it out before we do it.
Heck yeah! All right. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. Then.
So as we do the next two movies, I'll probably have a Santa Claus hat on because we're gonna do it. Oh, shit. I'll probably have a Santa Claus hat on as we go live on YouTube and drop some Christmas love.
We're not going to go live. Hold on.
Wait. What the fuck am I going to have this Santa Claus hat on for?
We're not going to go live. We're not doing that.
Fuck Brett Kavanaugh.